First at 4, parents are stunned by sex charges against a former school volunteer. Plus, we're getting a surprising response from the local school district. Also, panic inside another Walmart. You'll hear from the former firefighter who stopped a man with a gun, and the president faces a tricky challenge over gun control. Paula.
So here's a different way to fill your prescriptions from your doctor. Take a look at this. It's a program I'm going to tell you about that could change your health.
Beautiful blue skies, puffy white clouds, and no humidity, and we get to keep it around for the weekend. Find out when things will finally change right now, First at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, we are getting new reaction to the arrest of a now former school volunteer in connection with sexually abusing children. Michael Beebe faces 15 charges, including criminal sexual conduct with a person younger than 13. Beebe was a parent volunteer at James Monroe Elementary School in Wyandotte. Back in May, police began an investigation after a parent stepped forward with information about an alleged assault. Police are now looking for any additional victims. Arshawn Lay getting a surprising response from the school district today.
Well, good afternoon from Wyandotte. The Wyandotte Public School Superintendent and the principal here at Monroe Elementary. They say they're shocked and they're heartbroken, but they are only informing parents of this arrest of a parent volunteer today after we started asking questions about this morning. Here's what we know right now. The district says no red flags were raised when they gave volunteer Michael Beebe a background check. We found today that he has a long criminal history. Now, the district says it did consider his felony past when approving him. Police are now asking for more possible victims to come forward. Tonight, we're also hearing from parents. Many parents who are absolutely horrified. And tonight, they're calling for the superintendent and the principal here to step down. We'll see you live at 5 o'clock.
All right, Sean. Meantime, we're following some breaking news out of Saline, where someone has nearly drowned in Mill Pond Park. Paramedics tell us one person was taken to St. Joseph Mercy Hospital in Ann Arbor and is in critical condition right now. This is the view from Sky 4 just minutes ago. Right now, the circumstances are unknown, but there are investigators on the scene. New clues after a shooting in Warren ends with one man dead and another injured. It happened about 2:30 this morning at a home on Blanky Drive near 13 Mile and Hoover. Initial reports indicated a home invasion, but police say this was not random. They blame some kind of disagreement involving 3 people. The homeowner told police a man with 2 semi-automatic weapons broke into the home. During a struggle, 2 men were shot. Police have taken a woman who is parked nearby into custody, and we're going to take a closer look at the investigation tonight at 5. A woman had to be rescued from her Livonia apartment as flames just shot through the roof overnight. 8 units are damaged at the Parkway Heights apartments on Wayne Road and Ann Arbor Trail. One woman told us she woke up to sirens and her apartment engulfed in smoke. She couldn't get to the front door, so she grabbed her cats and then was escorted down a ladder.
There's no words that could explain this or the feelings that I'm going. It's just.
The cause of the fire is under investigation. No one was hurt. If you plan on taking just about any major freeway in Metro Detroit this weekend, get ready for some big-time headaches. Westbound I-94 will be closed from I-75 to I-96. Eastbound M5 will be closed from 696 to 8 Mile Road, and most closures start at 9 o'clock this evening. But eastbound 696 will start closing at 8 p.m. tonight from I-75 to I-94. All stretches will reopen Monday morning at 5 a.m. Good luck getting around. The road construction will be rough, but it is smooth sailing for our weekend weather. Man, those blue skies just get you in a good mood, Ben.
Yeah, just stay in the backyard, lay out, and just chill, because we're going to see a whole lot more of this on Saturday and Sunday. Very few changes, if any, as we get into the next couple days. Numbers had peaked into the 80s, but now we're into the upper 70s. And again, with low humidity, there is a northwest wind out there at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, but just a gorgeous midsummer afternoon. If you are headed out to the ballpark ballpark tonight. Tigers are taking on the Royals at 7:10. Numbers are going to fall into the 70s. Should be mainly clear skies and maybe see another walk-off by the time we wrap that thing up at 10 o'clock tonight. So we'll look more into your weekend and find out how long we're going to have to wait for rain. Some of us, it could be a while. All that's coming up in a few minutes, Karen.
One man is under arrest. Many shoppers breathing a sigh of relief after a terrifying few minutes at a Walmart in Springfield, Missouri. Here's the man who's in custody. Police say he walked into a Walmart carrying a gun and then dressed in tactical gear. Shoppers panicked, no doubt, thinking about the 22 people killed at a Texas Walmart less than a week ago. Store manager pulled a fire alarm, urging shoppers to evacuate. A former firefighter who had a gun of his own stepped in.
I walked up to the grass and asked him if he was the male inside, and he stated yes, and I drew my weapon, told him to put his hands in the air. He complied, was compliant the whole time. Even though I'm no longer in public safety, I still feel that I can still protect people if I need to, and that was my intention. Hopefully my actions prevented something like El Paso from happening.
That former firefighter did not want to be identified. NBC reports that Facebook posts show the suspect may have had a problem with Walmart's policies on selling gun ammunition. Right now, he could face charges for making a terrorist threat in the first degree. Stories like that show the country is on edge after those two mass shootings in El Paso and Dayton. Now President Trump is in a tight spot, trying to juggle demands for new gun laws while not losing key supporters. Kimberly Gill joins us. And Kim, we heard from the president today.
We did, Karen. Good afternoon to you. The president was speaking to reporters, but he was also sending a message to the NRA. On one hand, he wants the gun lobby to know he's the best advocate they could have in the White House. Listen.
I have a great relationship with the NRA. I have a lot of respect for the people at the NRA, and I have already spoken to them on numerous occasions. And frankly, we need intelligent background checks.
Well, it's the president's own party stopping new gun control laws, but Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell may be showing signs of compromise. He won't call the Senate back to work right now, but he's indicated that he's willing to talk about red flag laws and other options in September. The president is hopeful the NRA will bend.
I think a lot of really meaningful things on background checks will take place, including red flags, including a lot of other very, very important items.
Yeah, the House already passed bills for stronger background checks in February, but Senator McConnell won't bring them up for a vote. And President Trump had threatened to veto in the past. Well, today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the president told her he'll take another look. So, Karen, it seems like this is going to be a hot topic for the rest of the summer, probably on into the fall as well. We'll, of course, keep you posted.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Now a story on wellness and a push for food to do the healing. It's Friday, and at one local hospital, that means it's time to fill the prescriptions for cardiac and internal medicine patients. As Paula Tutman shows us, this is not the typical pharmacy, but perhaps, maybe it should be.
So, of course, there's a lot of talk about ways to fill prescriptions, but this is a different kind of prescription, and this is a prescription.
This is a poblano pepper.
What looks like a trip to an indoor farmer's market is a trip to an indoor farmer's market, but look a little closer and listen in.
And you're like, what's going on? Like, you just, blood rushes.
In this particular venue, fruits and vegetables are actually being prescribed by physicians. It's called the Fresh Prescription Program, and it is a deliberate doctor-initiated program in the Henry Ford Health System hospital system. It's simple. A physician in the group will actually write a prescription for a patient.
So pre-diabetics, anyone with high blood pressure, anyone who's looking to lose weight, even people who are full-blown diabetics at this point, all of this diet and nutrition education works really well for them.
Which sets into motion a series of events. Counseling with a dietitian.
So we're doing all the cooking, okay?
Yes.
So how do we include more vegetables in cooking?
Now these top parts you're gonna want to cook real well.
Education by a professional chef to teach healthy cooking methods and to introduce patients to things they may not have ever thought to try before in the produce section.
My goodness. I know. I want a bag of those. Yup.
For 6 sessions, the patient is given a $15 gift card to offset the price of produce in several places around town. And the patient is taught to help and heal themselves through proper eating. So Beverly is hoping not to join the family club of diabetics.
I'm overweight, and I know that. But everybody in my family is this size. So I'm trying to get a better hand on eating more fruits and vegetables. I don't eat fruits and vegetables every day, and I didn't know I needed to do that every day.
Joyce is a heart transplant recipient, and she has been a fresh prescription patient for 3 years.
My blood pressure is good. My everything in my system, my kidneys are good. Everything, my heart is good. It's great, and I'm just feeling healthy. I feel healthy, and I feel better. And people see me. You look great. You look healthy, because they saw me when I wasn't.
Some people who have high blood pressure can bring down their medications, and sometimes people who are diabetic, as they lose weight, can come off of their medications or at least decrease their medications if they don't come off of it altogether.
These are good. Winter is coming. There won't always be farmers markets, but these patients are being given the tools they need to keep their prescription regimen going so that by spring, their health story is a good health story.
That's heart healthy.
Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Patients in the Henry Ford Health System can find out if they are eligible for the Fresh Prescription Program by checking with their network physicians. Up next, first at 4, it has been 5 years since the police shooting that sparked the Black Lives Matter movement. Today, a new demand from Michael Brown's father. Also, a tale of 2 companies facing money troubles, a tech favorite that just can't seem to make money, and a new low point for a retailer that's been around for more than 100 years. And later, the truth about cats revealed. It looks like some owners' fears are true. New research and trending stories.